1, 2, 3, 4, go. I make my living off the evening news, expat bloggers, and living in the Philippines. Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Well, I could have been on radio, but I wound up YouTube here. I just have to edit well and search all day. Send me an email or call, come and whisper in my ear. Give us dirty laundry. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down. Doesn't matter what island you're on. Philippines should have been heaven, but you ended up on my page. Should have stayed off YouTube and just play on the beach instead. We got the age gap couple, the odd couple, broke expats who comes on at 5. They can tell you about how they loves it with a gleam in their eyes. It's interesting when people lie. Give us dirty laundry. Can we film the operation? Is political or not? You know the boys in the newsroom got a running bet. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry.
Hey, what's up? Good morning, Magadan Po to everybody. I was really rethinking about learning a little bit more Tagalog. I understand a lot more than I actually speak. I think I speak like 30 or 40 words, and then the rest of it I really understand. But I understand this right here. It's weird. So, good morning, guys. Thank you for joining us. George will not be joining today, flat out just asleep. So remember, he does do other work, and I'm surprised he has joined as much as he has here lately, because he's just been so busy. We released a video yesterday. Check it out. That showed like where he went out and got my Valentine's stuff, and then it showed us heading to the NBI. All that went smooth at the NBI, so I was really happy with that. So it just turns out that the office in the mall, the other one, looks like they've just got some issues going on there. Although somebody said they do have a handprint machine, but I don't know why they would. It just doesn't make any sense. So because the other office was fine with it on Clark, so it went smooth. And so onwards for the rest of the immigration. So today we are going to cover tricked and deceived. Don't get punked in the Philippines. Hope you guys like the photo. So basically, I want everybody to join in the conversation in regards to how you've been tricked, scammed, how things could go bad, whether you're a traveler, visiting. Mostly it's for the retired people, because really I've been thinking a lot lately about people retiring here, because I've been watching a bunch of people like in the United States, like they've got channels where they're living in their car. They're doing like that van life to save money. You'll see where the elderly can't afford things. And there's one woman that was a school teacher that gets not a bad pension, plus her Social Security, and you can't live on that. You cannot pay these high rent. She doesn't own the home. Her husband passed away, and it's just scary. It's really actual scary to think that she has several thousand US and she's struggling over there because of the cost. And now with all this Doge stuff and government tightening down, checking things out, woulda, coulda, shoulda on the government situation, it could get a little better on the Social Security. It could get a lot worse on Social Security. So I really highly recommend people come here. But then I start thinking about the other crap. I start thinking about, what if they get over here and in 4 years they end up with dementia or something, or they're here by themselves and they don't have somebody. And I just started going through all that thinking and stuff. And I started thinking there are things that could go wrong. It could be medical. It could be down to the rentals. Some guys and women do the dating. We'll be talking about immigration. And I'll be going through this list here in a minute. So that is today's topic of conversation. Besides that, not a whole lot going on this morning. I got myself. I'm dripping here. I'm dripping. Made coffee jelly myself. I kicked sugar for the most part. You guys know I've tried different things, but especially for my lupus, I kicked sugar again. I don't know, a few weeks ago. But since you guys last actually see me eat the donuts or the actual panda cell, and that was just the natural coconut in it. But so doing better, feeling better, and a little bit more energy now that I'm off of it. But I've been using monk fruit for everything, so feeling better. Update on the kittens. They're starting to crawl around everywhere. And now I leave the little gate open for the mother. She comes in and out and she's been getting along. But I think we're still going to have to rehome her back out in the yard. But we're waiting for the kittens to become a little older and everything. So let me know where you guys are at, what's going on. And then we'll be getting through this list here. Smile and be happy. Hello. Oh, itchy. You know what? Here's the thing. I thought I was going to be able to get George up this morning to actually do the live, and I had washed these, and we have like 10 different colors, and the orange ones I washed this morning, and I didn't wash this one. I got to individually wash this. I still think there's dust mites or something in it from the warehouse where we got it. Good morning, Cindy. I have to leave, so I will catch the replay. It's good to see you, Cindy. I hope you're doing good. What's up? What's up, people? I was just watching That's My Boy with Adam Sandler, and I was. Did anybody watch the SNL show, the 50th? It was a hit and miss for me on some things. I know there was some controversy and that Saturday Night Live. But I was thinking about Adam Sandler, and I was watching Get Hard with Will Ferrell. I'm a Will Ferrell fan also, but I was watching back to and That's My Boy when he was at the party. Somebody said what's up or something. They all start saying what's up, and George. That reminds me of George saying what's up. No, what's up? And then he did a real weak one like that. What's up? And she's like, Granny was like, that was weak. But yeah, I'm a big fan of like Will Ferrell and SNL and Robin Williams. So, what's up, Tony? Tony, what is Walang Pero or Para? Hey, Joseph, what is cooking over there? What is going on? Hi, Heidi. Your drink looks good. It's freezing again, Texas. Yeah, I've already lost a couple pounds, so. As always, my biggest weakness since a child is sugar. And it's not in large amounts. Like for those that know me, I had the gastric bypass and I was about 200 pounds bigger than I am now. I've maintained it, but I lost a lot more and I've gained part of it back. So I've probably gained half my weight back, and I'm with the steroids and the lupus and my other medical conditions. It's been really hard to not eat the sugar, especially here and everything. So yeah, I just went like sugar free, but monk fruit is the best that I can do. And basically, the doctor once again advised to kick that and a lot of the carb things. So basically, I'm trying really hard to do the ketovore, and I'm really more towards keto. So I do the dairy, the eggs, the meat. No grains whatsoever, no vegetables, no fruits, nothing. So I'll eat like salads and dark greens, but that's the closest I'll come because the gastric bypass really doesn't allow a lot of high fiber anyway. So ever since I've done that, I've been able to go up and down the stairs. It's been a major difference, which has been recommended from people, and I appreciate it. I have to, because weight loss will come second now to the extreme amount of pain. And it's not like I was eating a ton of it anyways. So I have limited space to eat. So I think I mentioned it on a previous live, but I have to cook for myself, and now George is suffering a little bit. I don't stop him. I was trying to see. I've been eating the chicharrones. I think they call it bulak. It's got like the fat inside of it, and I crush that and make panko crumbs. They call it pork panko, and I'm making like salmon patties today, and I'm gonna fry them in beef tallow. Do you guys remember when they used to make McDonald's fries originally without the soy oils that they're using now, and it used to be in that type of oil? I believe originally McDonald's was frying their stuff in beef tallow, like animal fat, and it was the best fries on earth. And then they changed the freaking formula, man. I hate those panda seal carts. Gotcha. Their loudspeakers are so freaking loud. Yeah. Shout out from Brampton, Ontario. Hey, good morning, Black Grandpa. And I made another video about allegations after saying he wouldn't do another one about the allegation. Oh, Q. Are you talking about Q's adventure? Yeah, that was odd. I seen another one, and like this morning, it's like I was scouring the internet, and it's kind of like that song "Dirty Laundry." It's like I'm waiting for somebody to be able to like make an example and talk about the situation, and I just didn't have the strength for Q, because I know on the backside a bunch of people came forward, even people that knew him and lived with him, because he rents rentals, if that's who you're talking about. And I'm like, that's a, I don't know. It's like, to me, there's so much going on with some of these guys here. Hey, what is going on? Jose from Long Island, New York. What is going on? 50 years since SNL started, 40 years since it was funny. Right. Um, I think what's really crazy is I used to think a lot of like when they would do those news stories, the news network, that they were just like joking and making some of them up, because not every day was I watching the news, and still until me and George started doing social media. I'd read it every now and then, but a lot of them are based on true stories. Like some of it, and it just blows your mind, some of the jokes and stuff. But no, there was a lot of it that was just really weird, and some of it can be funny. Like they had done that spaceship where they had sent the monkey up in space and stuff, and some of it's okay, but I agree the original was really funny. Wasn't it Scary Movie that did the What's Up? They did that too. And that's my boy. You're right on that. That was another one that did the What's Up. Yep, Scary Movie, What's Up? But my curiousness is what came out first? Did That's My Boy come out, or did Scary Movie come out first? Because That's My Boy's been out for quite some time too. But it was still definitely both good movies. Bad Boy Jewelry. Good morning. I've been watching for months. First time commenting. Welcome, Bad Boy Jewelry Shop. How are you doing today? I hate sugar. Even as a kid, I never had a sweet tooth. I like my iced coffee black, and sometimes I'll put creamer in it. I do enjoy black chocolates with almond. Um, I am using a lot of, like, I just bought some Australian whole milk, full fat, and I have full cream. Like it's like the whipping cream, which is heavier in the healthy fats and stuff. And of course, I use butter, real butter, and everything. So everything is a little more expensive, but like me and George look at it this way, that with us eating out a few times a month, or depending, sometimes it could be 2 times 3 times a week, we were ordering out stuff to bring in, or we were going out, it kind of saves. There's a difference where we're just transferring that money over into the healthier items. And now that we're not buying a lot of prepackaged items that, we were just sitting around snacking on and stuff before lives, and then it actually saves some money too. But on the other hand, that was cheaper. Some of those items were really cheap too, but I at least have to have the monk fruit. I'm not really a savory person. That's what's becoming hardest for me, is eating more meat versus eating carb items. But then you were just hungry, an hour or two later. So it's kind of but yeah, I'm more of a sweet person. George is more of the savory person. Yeah, Q's adventure. Yeah, it's Q. I figured he would. I haven't even looked to see the other kid. I did look into. I just realized the last live stream we were talking about medical, because I was going to touch base about seeing Every Man Has a Story. Jen did a video a couple days back, and I was and wasn't going to talk about it, but the more I was thinking about it, everything she said in there, we said in the video, because other people were telling us this, like inside people were telling us this the same, probably within a 24-hour period. So she did discuss everything that we said, that it took a delayed period for the ambulance to get to him. It was the van that took him, or the only ambulance like item to take him. He was really too big for it. So she said it didn't even have windows, no air conditioning, and she said he was on the floor. Like whatever happened, partial stroke or the heart attack, whatever that he was having, she said that he did end up on the floor, and they had to pick him up, and a couple guys took several guys to carry him down to the ambulance. So medical can be pretty scary here, because you just have to, if you're moving here long term, it doesn't matter where you're at. You just have to accept that even in the best scenario, like if you guys are in BGC and you're nearby the best hospitals over there still could be a delay in getting an ambulance. You may have to take a cab. One second. And things could happen, and that kind of delay could cause issues. So there's a lot to it. But yeah, she just went on about the billing and having to put up 50,000 pesos and paperwork shuffle. And so she went on about how much she loves her husband. And for me personally, I have no doubt that she cared for him. But the more happier somebody appears on air, more than likely there's a lot of shit going on in the background. And I was like, amen to that, because I've seen another couple that was talking about another couple. There's like, it's so, when somebody looks that happy, it's just not negative thoughts, it's truth. They're putting on a persona that everything is okay. Me and George, I'm just gonna smack them upside the head during the live stream. It means I really love them. So, if you're like the honeymooners and stuff, that means to me, it's like you're living a real marriage. For those that are like this all the time, there's an issue. But she went on, and I believe her. And now she's going, she's got a long road to raise the baby and everything. So, yeah. You must not have the carts there, or you would know they bake the bread on the carts and play their ad over and over really loud. Which one are we? One French fry at fast food restaurants is equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes for your health. I don't know. I don't buy into any of that, because there are people that eat nothing but, like, they're saying the carnivore and all this real butter stuff will kill me quicker than all the other stuff, and I'm not believing that either. I have to try something, but I don't know about eating a French fry is like a pack of cigarettes. Maybe it depends on the type of oil, but yes, fast food in general with the hydrogenated oils and all that, it's possible. Yeah, it depends what type of fat it was in, and but I don't know. There's they say that it is the sugar that's killing people. They're going to say that it's the fatty meats and that you need to go on a low carb, low fat, and those weren't true either. That was all to push big business and doctors. Good morning, Heidi from San Francisco. Hey, Slick Rick is in the house. Hey, like a spy, what's going on? Good morning and good afternoon, good evening. Hey, 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 like a spot. We have the other channel. Trying to see if that'll put that in there. So, anyways, I'm adding in there. Um, George and me opened that channel we were talking about where we were doing the music too, because we just do those for fun. And we did call it Plushy Fandom Lo-Fi. So what we're doing is we're creating music and then we're creating like little characters and then we put a little story in the description, but it's based on people that are like our fans, our supporters over time. So we did do one for you. I think that was a couple days ago. So for you being the inspiration. I definitely like the plushie, and so both me and George like the plushies and like the music to chill to and everything. But good morning. So check that out. Yeah, I didn't put the link. I just typed the name of the channel. Probably gonna look weird. I thought What's Up came from the beer commercial in the movies that were making fun of it. It could be why, yeah, it could be why Adam Sandler in that movie did that. It might have been based on the beer one. So that could be, yes, very much. Can you remember Daryl from the UK? I looked after him when he came back to the UK, was like hell. Yes, I remember Daryl. We had Daryl. We did the interview with Daryl. Of course, we remember Daryl. And we initially covered him, and we covered him for a while. Like a lot of the stories we keep covering. And then we knew he went back, and then he struggled. We knew that he was on the street. We seen where he put his videos out on the street, and then I know that he had made up with some of the family and it kind of went back and forth. But yeah, it didn't get any better for him. I think that's why a lot of expats here, like there's a lot of expats that are homeless here that are Americans here in Angel City. And a lot of them choose, there's a Canadian guy here right now just wandering around. They choose to stay here versus going to cold weather and dealing with issues in their country. And a lot of times you're not going to get the immediate help. So, okay, so it was Budweiser. Oh, okay. It was a Super Bowl. Gotcha. Malnutrition is a reason for energy drinks. Body needs energy. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I do X amount of coffee. I try to like keep it down, but considering that all the packaged food I was eating and we were eating fast food and eating a lot of junk on the side, we're not talking like even in huge amounts. We When we did that, it was within portions. A lot of people think that I personally was sitting around eating three cheeseburgers at a time and three fries and three shakes and that kind of stuff. And it wasn't like that either because my stomach can't allow it. But it's I was consuming I was drinking first a lot of my calories. Like we were drinking sugar teas and we were drinking sodas and I was drinking my calories for the most part. I was doing coffee packets that had a lot of calories. But yes, yeah, a lot of that it was given out for malnutrition. Yes. Yeah, I think that is where it came from was the Super Bowl. Where is the G Dog? G Dog is sleeping officially. I'm surprised he kept up on the last couple live streams. He'll come on Saturday, so he'll join the live. So he is officially sleeping. Good morning, Sarah. Wait, I sat here all morning and not once did I. It's got to be the mic. Every time, every time it just feels like I can't even begin to tell you. It's like I've got like roses and dust all up in my nose because I have allergies to flowers. So yeah. Yeah, so we did put that out. That's the other channel that we have besides the music channel is Expatainment Talk. We are dual broadcasting right now on it. So hello to the other channel. Yeah, Plushy Fandom Lo-Fi. It just like literally we just started it, but it's just a channel for fun, and we plan to use it to add songs and put stories with it and dedicate it to people. So hey, hey. Helping of the fries, and yes, it's the oil. Gotcha. I eat too many quarter pounder meals in Toledo. We just have a McDonald's and a Jollibee. And there are people that smoke, drink, and do that, and they live to 80 and 90. My grandfather was in his 90s when he passed away. He was like 94. And he used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes Chesterfield without the filters, like hardcore, man. And so when he was a realtor, and I think it just depends. It depends on everything, your genetics, if you, I really now truly believe sugar is a big culprit for me in gaining weight. But my system may be different than the next person. They can eat a bunch of sugar and then may eat a hamburger and then gain weight. So I've tried vegan, low carb, high fat. When I had the gastric bypass, it was supposed to be all protein and no carbs. And then I started drinking my calories and gaining weight back. And then I was like, hey, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want. I'm getting up there in age. And I've been on diets ever since I had my daughter in '89. And it has, ever since then, my body has not been right. Every time you go on a diet, it destroys your metabolism even more. Yeah, it was a really nightmare. Yes, it's Philippine Antics at Gmail. It's in the description of the video, so I don't know what channel you're on, but it is Philippine Antics at gmail.com. So, yeah, so Trump and Elon are going in hard on federal workers in the U.S., and it ain't a golden ticket anymore. They're getting fired and losing benefits. Yeah, I've seen that website. Scott had sent that to us. Scott and Aziza World, uh, or Isa World, had sent us that, and I knew it existed. I just hadn't gone there. But they're saying right now the money that they've cut averages around, and I just a guesstimate around 400 US dollars per taxpayer is what they're saying right now. There's been rumors of as soon as this is over, they're going to break out stimulus checks and, I mean, not inciting anything, but like disgruntled postal employees. I mean, I'm the safety of, no matter who he is, the safety of the president is would be my concern at this point, because there's a lot of wound up Democrats out there and a lot of wound up people. I mean, now this all could just be the news, but I've been seeing like all aspects of the news that's been showing that if you own a Tesla, people are cussing you out and flipping you off, and it's been in the news, and people are angry at this, and that's got to be upsetting being in a government job like that. I mean, there's people with families, and if you take the food off the table, it's got to be very upsetting. I can't stop drinking the soda, way too much Coke. Gotcha. Um, yeah, soda is the one thing. I mean, we usually don't go crazy. We don't buy like we'll buy like one of the bottles, and then that stays around for a while. I've never been a big soda person. Mine's been the sugary drinks and like coffee, the Kool Aid stuff, the original Tang with the actual sugar in it. What's up, K Dallas? Yes, that's yes. Yeah, we really like that, the plushy fandom. Yep. You're welcome. Elon has asked about the 450,000 ton of gold not being checked. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I wonder if that's going to be like, he said he would like some, what I heard is he said he would like to do a live or something and go there, and he plans to show people if it's really there. Do we really believe it's there? I mean, we've heard of Fort Knox our entire life. Is it really all there? And the fact that he would be saying that, I mean, doesn't the president have the right to, I mean, just go over there? I mean, I'm sure he does, but you might as well throw it all out there. But I don't know. A lot of crazy stuff. Like the list is getting bigger and bigger. Like at first they said the list of Doge was not real and they were just throwing this and out, and now they're starting to really reveal these places, and it's all on that main website if you check it out. It's some of the stuff just blows my mind. Fort Knox. I'll let you know. MAGA. Yeah, what's the deal with Tom Hanks and the MAGA thing? They really went. I like Tom Hanks as an actor, but I mean, did he write his own script for that, or did SNL have him do that? But I've heard a lot of stuff about that. If it's not hell, it will break out. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, so I'm going to get into this list here about tricked and deceived. Let's see. Let's start with the honey trap. Tricked or deceived. We'll start here with Angel City with them updating their clubs here and trying to make that a family friendly street, along with updating all their stuff and trying to go first class. And they started with the sign. First, they went and did the street. Now they put up a sign, and they're trying to revamp it. And but it just brings me around to the honey trap, like scams that go on in the bars where they get the guys to drink up a bunch or buy them things and do these things. Or you got to be careful also, because in the Philippines, over and over again, I've heard where they get it's not Spanish fly, what's it, just roofied. It happens. The guys wake up. A lot of them, there's no like they don't pass on from it, but they wake up and their laptop's gone, or their wallets are gone, or cards are gone, this type of thing. But this does happen anywhere. It's just one of those things that could go wrong. But overall, the honeypot scam could also include the girls not insisting on contraceptive, and then you end up giving her a baby, the major honeypot. And then later she's trying to get money out of you for the actual girls or boys that she's actually had, babies. So that is one of them that I think about. And I've heard all kinds of stories, but some people say the guys, they know what they're getting into when they get here. I did not know. Interestingly, I was just reading on Facebook. There was a whole thing showing that back in the 70s here or something, that they had, and they probably still do have them down there, like in that area. I didn't see it, and I've been down to Walking Street, that they had actual STD clinics. Like the guys would take the girls down there in advance to be checked before. So I can't imagine a guy half drunk that they would go and do that. Maybe they do that after the fact, and also for them checking themselves before they go home. And so they would give them antibiotics and everything. So it was like for one factor or another. And I think they said there's still one of them down there, one or two of them down. And it just blew my mind to think that there's an actual clinic right there on the bar, but I mean, a bar area, but I guess that would make sense. So it makes sense. The next one that you'd want to be careful for is dealing in visas and immigration. And that would be like the fixers. There are a lot of them out there that online they'll promise stuff in your neighborhood. Could be a second, third cousin of your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is that says they'll fix things. And even the fixers come in the area of like that one guy, the Australian guy that went back and he can't get back to his kids. He said that his wife was dealing with I believe he said the immigration, but his marriage certificates, it was never filed to begin with. They weren't even married. And so fixers being used here can become a major, major problem. I would do the immigration yourself or hire some attorney that you know is vetted. There are places here where they're vetted and they've got like all their business licensing and everything if you're actually going to use them. So be careful on the visas and keep up on your visas because a lot of the people let them expire. So the next one is really common sense would be like pickpocketing. Like, don't let the kids come up on you and touch you and bump up on you and all this crap. And it's since I've been here for 4 years, I've never had any issue. Nobody tried to take my bag in different areas. We have not been pickpocketed or anything. But when people, I don't get up on the jeepneys and don't ride in public transport. I don't let anybody get near me. I don't go in crowds so big where you're practically like that festival that they had. So just be careful because they said that it was like a month or so ago. They said up at one of the malls there are groups of people working to do that. So they do go to the mall areas to, and I guess I wouldn't think of them actually being like inside or outside. So just be careful on that. The next one that I have listed here is rentals. Don't pay in advance for rentals. A lot of them will reproduce the photos and they will try to do the rentals on Facebook. They try to do them in public, like they'll post their phone numbers out front of buildings, which isn't even theirs. So just be careful for the rentals. A lot of them will try to ask, that are scamming, will ask for you for the money up front. Don't do that either. Do like what me and George did. When we got here to the Philippines, we went to an Airbnb rental. Some will do hotels. I still say find an Airbnb near the neighborhood that you want and then go out looking for your place on foot. So, or go to Realty. There's plenty of Realty agents that can actually help you too. So let's see. The next one that is common, like the pickpocketing thing, is the trike riders that'll overcharge, and you'll just know that they actually are. So that is a common thing that you could be deceived out of, is the ride's really only 150 pesos and you're being charged 300 or 350. A lot of us as foreigners, we're just like, and we pay it and then we just try to avoid it. It's probably best not to confront the person. I've seen vloggers confront them just for content. I wouldn't attempt that as a vlogger. So that's another thing, is being overcharged by the taxis or by the trikes. So let's see. Don't deal in any party favors. Like, they sell a lot of them down a walking street. Most people pass those up. I just would stay away from any sort of dealer here like that. Any street dealers on items that seem too good of a deal or that are party favors, because it's highly illegal. I mean, I shouldn't even have to mention that it's very, very highly illegal, although it seems like there's a lot of it going on here. Bust after bust after bust. So, building a house. Let's get into the building a house topic. Old Dog recently came out again with more and more information. I did not watch the one where he said he had an inside guy. I think they said he was working for the company. All I know is I read one paragraph, like I jumped into the comments like a lot of us do, and right inside the comment it says the guy looks like he was involved. They kind of didn't trust the guy. It was like he came for it. So I didn't catch all of that. But I know there was also a woman, I believe her name was Jan. So there was a female American expat that's here now. And she's kind of like me and George, like everyday people. She probably had a little bit more money than us, so she wasn't like super broke, but like going back and forth in a plane ticket, I'd only be able to do it like once or twice. After that, we would just be broke. And So she was mentioning that it was becoming a problem. So she was in the build having her bill. And then, of course, she doesn't have it and she lost the money. It showed them up at the police station and they're really hunting this guy now. And it's very sad. And when I listened to her story, I had it recorded and I was going to cover it. But then when I seen her on Old Dog's channel, I was like, I don't want to do it, right now. I'm going to wait to see if anything else unfolds. But in general, she just trusted the guy too. Somebody said, why didn't you go and check this guy out? It looks like she just like met him in person. And she said that she kind of wished she had. So she, like a bunch of others, I believe it's up to 40 something people now that have been taken on that one. So it's just crazy. It's that people, I just can't imagine that without. I mean, I guess it would happen in the United States, but the crazy part is it's another expat. So it's the employees now that haven't been paid. It's people, a lot of money's been taken. He did it to Filipinos. He did it to other businesses for supplies. And so the Orange Kite group is the one that that has not completed the buildings and scammed a lot of people. And so it's just very sad. So if you're going to build a house, I would really check into. A lot of people choose just to hire the people in and bring a couple, trusted people in, but I would look into doing the build yourself or a really, really trusted company that's been around for a long time. Like finished houses, like I guess there weren't even a bunch of finished houses and they still went with this guy. I don't know. Just be careful when you're building your house. Don't be tricked or deceived on that one. And of course, we were talking about that being a company. Just be careful for the fake businesses. Like somebody will try to sell you a fake business too that they don't even own, or property that they don't even own besides the rentals. That's the other one that I wanted to actually mention, is just be careful on the business aspect. A lot of dealings on people that don't even own the businesses and they lose money. And it happens with the Filipinos too. So walking street STD. So so let me know, guys, on other things. I was just going through some basic ones that I wrote down this morning and was sitting there thinking about it and stuff. Thank you, bad boy. Thanks, nice channel. I'll be out there after taking my daughters to, I believe that you say it, Tunis, next week. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Since Christmas, 2 or 6 tons of gold being shipped from here in London. Tom Hanks worried about, that's, I was wondering why people were holding up signs calling him a pedo and stuff. And that would make sense. He's been seen going there to Epstein Island, hasn't he? There's a whole list, isn't there? See, I'm not even sure. That's crazy then if he was going out there. That's just shocking. So are Filipinos talking about the China incident from some Filipino plane? Not that I mean, it's not, like in the past week that we've been like sitting with Filipinos. George might be when he talks with his uncles and stuff and family over there and friends, but I don't know. Something going on. STD is running rampant in the Philippines, but bloggers are not talking about. That is true. Probably first off, it's because of AdSense. Like a lot of us that are just average, even channels like Sunshine Shoulders and Old Dog, they're going strictly by AdSense. And I'm not even sure how even Old Dog and Sunshine get away with some of the topics. They just know maybe those videos are unmonetized, but it also does put a hit on the channel. In other words, I've noticed if we do a topic like when we covered some of the things that happened in Mindanao, they would hit us, and then we would have to change thumbnails and do things. But it slowed the channel down. Like all of a sudden, things just disappeared. Like it slows the channels down. So we try not to do it for multiple reasons. If we had full sponsorship and somebody was just outright giving us 1,000, 2,000 US a month, then we'd probably consider just skipping AdSense and just saying whatever. I kind of wish we could do the Joe Rogan show. Believe me, it's so funny that how much more we would actually say if we weren't partially restricted. But yeah, they probably should, because AIDS is rampant, STDs are rampant. They've got clinics everywhere, but yet they don't do like sex education here. Not that I'm aware of. Last I heard, it wasn't. And so they really need to do the family planning situation and talk about that type of things. But just like George said, bottom line, they won't buy a condom over a bag of rice. And so when it comes down to that, they think just washing it off or something is actually what they're doing. It's like they take the risk. It's crazy. And it's crazy. But yes, I don't understand how guys will what they call raw dogging and that kind of crap. It just I don't know. Apparently girls need to be tested weekly. Yes, no, the girls do. They have to do their clinics and everything. So, which is weird. So the government doesn't acknowledge them as hoe houses, but they acknowledge that they have to be tested for STDs as working bar girls or women working in those bars in that area. So it's weird. It's like they don't acknowledge what they do, that they just do the buyouts or the bar fines of the girls and take them home. But that doesn't pay for whatever action happens. That's just to get her out of the bar. And it's like, but I just don't. I guess it's a blind eye, like all things. But yeah, I can't imagine being in the cold right now. I struggle as it is. Everywhere here is a shoulder to shoulder, always packed. Yeah, see, I couldn't deal with that. As a matter of fact, I told George, as soon as his Social Security comes in and there's more money and we have substantial money, then I'm moving over to Clark City. I'm up and out of here. We've been going over there, and after seeing the flow of traffic and seeing like the houses out there on the base, how things are all spread apart, and I just like it way better over there. I just like the atmosphere over there. And the problem is the prices go up. We're probably looking at 3-4 times the rent, and we would need the car. So right now, we'd have to make sure we had a well maintenance car to be out there. So I know they have some deliveries. I know I've seen the cabs out there. So it is possible, but as soon as I can, with the animals, I don't think a condo is going to work. So we'd have to go into a house. So, but yes, I'm out to Clark. We talked about that farm, but the more I keep going out there. See you later, Hillbilly Pyro. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Skin tax. Yes, that is tricked and deceived, man. And with George, I'm double tricked and deceived because I think everywhere he goes, even on his own, like we agreed a long time ago, like George goes and does a lot of things. And I'm not the only one. A lot of people said, oh, it's because you big and this and that, and you're just being lazy to not go out. No, I've seen skinny white men with their Filipinas that send them off to go do stuff, or they sit inside the car and wait for him to go run, because you do get charged quite a bit more. And even if it's by $5-6 every time you go out, that shit adds up, man. That stuff adds up. And George, I think, is getting taxed anyways because of his full, where he's just sounds like he was born in America, but he's been like that since a little kid. He has a lot of friends here that sound like that, but he wears the jeans, or it's the way he dresses specifically that they think that he's just an OFW, minimally the OFW, and then he just gets charged. So if we both go out, man, it's double taxed, man. Hey, Aaron, people selling iPhones online they're always scams. They always claim to be hundreds of miles from the location they're posting it, want payment in advance, and say no cash on delivery. Yeah, that's just stupid. I mean, I can't even believe that people will fall for that. There's all kinds of them going on right now where they do that, and I just don't know how and why. Or you'll see their Facebook accounts where I always look at every Facebook account. And a lot of times you'll see, like, even people who try to sign up for we have two Facebook accounts under George Mendoza, which then says official Philippine Antics channel. And then you have the other one that just says Philippine Antics. And we check the people out, and you'll go in there and you'll see that they're dealing in crypto and this and that. We're like, yeah, we're not adding them. And when you look at accounts that are selling things, like we've looked into buying things, no, most accounts are blank. And so, and prepayments, like, yeah, no, like skip, skip, skip. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. Manila is terrible for overcharging on taxis. They tried charging 2,000 pesos to go from Terminal 5, wow, to Terminal 3. That's crazy. I'm trying to remember when we originally got here 4 years ago what they charged. But that was during the pandemic and direct to the hotel, and people were limited on going outside. I still say it was a couple thousand. It was not just 1,000. They charged for each one of us in the van, and it was just two of us in the van. It wasn't cheap. I remember that. But for me, I'm like $40 to get out of the airport. You're kind of like, eh, right? Hey, Angelo, always be aware of your surroundings, especially in the Philippines. The kids outside, especially, come up to you and never have issues here since 2014. Yeah, you have to be aware of your surroundings. That's the only thing. Like I said, the whole thing is inspired by, I know there's a lot of expat females and males that are going to be coming here with the way the country's changing in the United States. And it's for the good and the bad, but who can afford to live in the US? It's one of the reasons, main reason we left. So it was just better why, we didn't want to blow through our savings. And if we would have stayed, we've been counting our blessings now, we'd have blew through all that money. We wouldn't even have had a chance to, be able to make it over here because we just would have went through it with the raise and the cost. But in saying that, yeah, you have to be aware of your surroundings. And with all the expats coming here that are older, they really need to think about these things and not to be so super trusting. Yeah, we hired all local workers and contractors and got our own permits. Yeah. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning. Yeah, you have to. That's what a lot of people do. I think it was like on this Orange Kite group, I think a lot of them heard this one person do it, that person. No blame to old dog. I know at some point he mentioned he was using him. I really think that had some influence. Not on all of them. There was a Filipina that, they were building buildings like a little resort thing. She lost a lot of money. A lot of people lost money. Where I'm surprised at is this woman, Jan, and a bunch of people showed up now at the mayor's office, and he's on the NBI watch list now. And it's like, but he's still here supposedly. She went in there. It's like they went in there as a group, and she said they'll be updating what's going on. It just blows my mind that it even got that far. If I just sneeze in a direction and a coin falls on the ground, I'm going to be blamed for taking that coin and robbing somebody. They're going to kick me out of the country. I promise you on that one. I mean, I just don't know and understand why so many of them, all that's happening, or like their immigration has been expired for years and they just leave them on the streets here and they don't mess with them on their immigration. The ones that are abusing their spouses here and they've been reported and they're still here, kind of situation. It never ceases to amaze me. Good morning, Timothy from Columbus, Ohio. Are you nice and warm and toasty? Isaac Cappy recorded a video claiming Tom Hanks, Spielberg, Seth Green, Dan Schneider are pedos. He claimed Hollywood gets them on camera and uses it to leverage their. I believe it. I believe it 100%. So, yep, there it is. Said he'd never unalive himself, and then within days he allegedly snapped. I didn't know. Wow. Chinese and Philippine aircrafts in the South China Sea face off. Yeah. Can't we all just get along, man? Can't we all just get along? I mean, I, they flex a lot, don't they? And I don't know why the Filipinos don't do anything. I'm simply amazed, and this is going to insult some people, and I don't understand how they like allow. To me, it's a bullying thing, and they're it's a passiveness that I find in some of the Filipinos. I just don't know why they're not. I mean, what would happen if that was the U.S.? I mean, wouldn't the U.S. they wouldn't have dealt with that, would they? Who knows? But then on the other hand, watch out for Filipinos. They'd be quick to take a bat to your head in about 2.2 seconds, especially if it's a relationship. Like here lately, these ladies have been popping off the chain, man. It's like, traffic's crazy near the airport of Pranke. Is that how you say Pranke? I always ride my scooter 100 kilometers and no need for jeepney. It's crazy. Like we are right near MacArthur Highway, so a lot of that traffic is crazy there. George has gotten adjusted. I just don't think I can do it or willing to risk it for the cost. We were talking about the previous live stream. We were discussing Mr. Bacon. He's an expat here that supposedly has thousands and thousands of peso or US dollars a month, but yet he needs money to move and for medication. But like somebody said, he's probably getting upward of 7,000 US dollars a month. And even if he was living, let's say he was living in T-Mall where the place was 1,000 a month, I still can't imagine he's broke. And I know he needs bills. He's supposedly dying of cancer and end-stage heart disease and having seizures and medical issues, but yet he's riding his bike. And somebody came through. Ro Pineapple said, I hope after him saying everything about safety and would you save somebody, I don't know if you guys caught the last live stream, he was saying a bunch of things like he was being very narcissistic in all of his comments and posting his own posts and then responding about would you stop and save somebody. And supposedly the guy was ran over by 2 dump trucks and then got hit in Subic Bay. And then he just recently, about a year ago, got smashed up against a side of a rail. And the other one, he had severe injuries. Like he said, 6 places. His I forgot, some serious injuries. We're even surprised that he even survived. But in the end, he's looking, for, additional money by selling his stuff. And a lot of people said that his story did not add up. So when it comes to safety, I don't understand why he was riding a scooter out in crazy traffic, or not a scooter, but he's got a motorcycle. Sorry, I just read your scooter part. A motorcycle out in this crazy traffic in the Philippines, especially having seizures. And Ro Pineapple says, I would hope that he would stop riding it to make it safe for everybody else. Yeah, so he's talking about, people should be saving people and stopping and helping and all this. Yet he's really, if he's that sick, he shouldn't be riding a motorcycle. He could cause the death of a bunch of people too if something happens. It's just, but Mr. Bacon himself, a lot of people said you can have all the money in the world. He's probably just spending it all, and it's true. He could be paying that 1,000 a month, and with his other 6,000, he could just be really spending it. He could be really a high spender. He could be traveling every week. He could be, who knows? It could be all going to medical too. I don't understand how floral arrangements are more expensive than a standard mobile phone. I was trying to figure that out. When George, I heard that woman give a price, you know how you could go, like in Florida we had, or let's just say Walmart has them. They used to 4 years ago had them bunches of flowers, and they used to be like you could get two of them for 10, two for 14, two for 16, or one of them was like 9 or 10. No, literally those flowers that George was calling out in price, they're about $12 here. And to pay 1,200 pesos for a small bunch of flowers was insane. And some of the items, it just blows my mind what Filipinos will spend money on. And a lot of them are living on less than, I'd probably say 60, 70% are living on less than, let's say, $20 a day. And 20 is being generous. Like the bar girls might only be getting, like as a salary, 500 pesos, 600 pesos, 800 pesos. Insane how the amount that was charged for Valentine's Day, or some things are, like water is dirt cheap here, and I see why the water is dirt cheap. Electricity is extremely high, which it's an island, I guess it's going to be, but some things just don't make any sense. Like the real butter. Let me give you an idea on real butter. If I get the Kerrygold, or I end up getting Anchor, which is from New Zealand, or you go into a real pure butter. Some say they're real pure butter, but if you look, it's got the vegetable oil in it. It says butter, real butter. And I'm like, can't. It says it's got vegetable oil. That about $4, $4 to $5 for the 200. It's like 200 grams, probably 2 sticks of butter. $4 for 2 sticks of butter. And in the United States, you would get the 4 sticks of, like even at Walmart, we could get real butter, but 4 of them would be the same price. So you're getting half the amount. You're paying $4 in the Philippines. It's insane. 200, 250, 260 pesos sometimes for butter. So maybe I just see the same with cream cheese. So right now, I told George if we want cream cheese, cottage cheese, or any of that, it'd be cheaper just to get the milk and make it at the, and a lot of it is close to expiration. They also have a shuttle bus outside Terminal 3 that goes the other side, but they don't advertise. Yeah, I found it on accident last trip. Wish I had found 20 trips ago. Yeah, they do have that shuttle. And I know that a lot of people travel to other countries, like they said Singapore is really good about helping people on their travel. And what's the other one? Malaysia, I believe. Like some of them are really up to date on their traveling and advising their tourists. I'm just really surprised that the Philippines has not invested a ton more in helping people come here. That's why they're behind on their tourism. And they really should. The airport really should. Like a small bouquet of flowers. Yeah, it's insane. It's way higher than the U.S. And don't even get me going on fruits and vegetables in some areas too. It's really insane. A lot of those are getting to be U.S. prices. And definitely in the last 4 years, it's gone up substantially. Mr. Trump will be sending out cheese out to over 45 years of age, thousands off on each. It's cheese. 5,000 to all tax-paying citizens, 400 billion given back to the taxpayers. That would be nice for people. Coming to the Philippines and Thailand, family in Thailand. I'm out for 1 year. Taxes in UK is killing me. Yeah, things are just way too high, and I think a lot more people will be moving to Asia. It's between the rentals, and I'm assuming if we were still back in the US, the money we spend right now total for the month, we spend anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000, and it has not gone over that 2,000 a month, and that would barely cover our rent and maybe cell phones right now. So that would be all we can actually afford. But then it's like we get everything for that. We don't worry about paying the electricity bill, getting in a cab, or going to the movies, or if we're going to eat out, or groceries. That would only cover rent and our cell phones in the US, $2,000. So it's insane. And we were in a house, by the way, so that's why it was so high. What is going on? Barry is in the house and awake. What is going on? Wanting some music done for my website. I can pay you to do a good tune. I'll get in touch with you. Yeah, just email us. No problem. We can get that done for you. Old Dog's channel took off. He met baby May. His luck just ran out with him building the house. Yeah. And he's going to capitalize on every minute of that. I noticed everything's been about that house, but he's just turning it into, I think he had a lot of success with that expat John. He didn't even see that coming. He just decided to interview another person like he's done before. And now with this thing, I notice he's doing a lot more on this build, as he should be exposing. For a minute, I thought he was going to tune it down because he said, he didn't mention the name of it. And then the next few videos, he was naming the company. And I don't know if that was for like pizzazz or something, or if he really was afraid and was listening to other channels, So, fell off a small bridge. Gotcha. If I knew I was at end stage, I wouldn't be worried about bills. Yeah, I mean, for that guy, I don't get it. Because if he's minimally getting that 3,800 plus the Social Security, and he's getting 6, 7, 8,000 a month, let's just say he's even getting 5,000. He really, as a single guy, should be living well. And if you're at that end stage, I hate to say it, there's only so much you can do. You take your blood thinners, you take your medicine, you take it easy at home, go out every now and then, but I don't see that you're going to be stuck in a hospital doing all these testings 24/7. You're just not. And I get there are medications and some costs. He's not like getting chemo. He's not getting dialysis, something that's ongoing where it's an ongoing cost. He's not going into surgery, but he's talking about moving again. If you've only got that long, why would you bother selling items? It doesn't add up. If you're just there at the house, why would you move if you've got he mentioned this a month ago when it actually he started before that selling stuff, giving that story. So technically 2 of the 1 year is gone already. And according to the heart, he's got 6 months to a year. If he has that his heart's that bad off. And why would you bother packing everything up and moving again? He seems to move all the time. Like he lists all types of places. He's lived in a lot of cities. I wouldn't go move to another place. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't want to move over from the couch to the kitchen and stand in there. I'm just gonna get lazy, man. But if I especially on days I don't feel good, I don't get it. None of it makes sense for me as a person that's sick quite a bit because of my lupus and where I get tired and my body's hurting. And like him, his foot was severed, and he shows photos of him, somebody picking at his stitches and digging at it. And I'm like, ugh, how are you even walking around? He needs to rest. I would be getting those pain meds and just chilling. Hey, Ruby, what is going on? Cost of secondhand cars seem to be expensive here too. Yes, very much so. And in Mexico, to maintenance a car was really inexpensive. Here, it seems they seem to charge for this. So maintenancing, and like right now, the last few things George had done to that car were almost U.S. prices. I'd probably say it's probably about 70% the cost. So if you get an oil change, we were almost paying the cost of. And it depends if you want a backstreet mechanic here too, but at this point, I would trust a backstreet mechanic in Mexico before I would here. So I'm just saying, it's just where it's at. I would try to find somebody but it's expensive to fix them too. Yeah, if I didn't put that up. I love milk. Yeah, I mean, I'm now on the dairy kick, and I know people say, "Oh, that's going to cause you to gain weight and this and that." Actually, no. I'm actually just cutting the sugar out. It's been a miracle. But yeah, I like milk, so I'll be eating a lot more. Be making mozzarella, cream cheese, and be steak, butter, and cream cheese. And I just be like, mhm. It looks like at the actual data, clergy, police, relatives, not celebs. There's TikTok that documents the actual cases, not dumb conspiracies. Yeah, yeah. The cars do not depreciate fast at all. Yeah, but they can become money pits. My biggest concern with the current car that we have that is used, I think it's at a certain mileage. And, I appreciate the car and I'm very thankful for it. My thoughts is that I was telling George that we can get into a grab and it costs a few hundred pesos to go where we need to go and then that to come back. So the maintenance that's going to cost her to fix anything will be way more than that we'll use before, in the next 10, 15 years worth of grabs. The great thing that it's good for is long distances and that I don't have to wait. Like on days that I can barely stand and my joints are killing me, it's hard for me to stand beyond 20 minutes. So with my bad legs and everything. And so I'm very grateful for that. And then we went out to Clark. Not all cabs and grabs go everywhere. So that's the big part. But to like right now, there's like we need something done with the air conditioning, and there's some other things. But it's going to cost, and so it's just like I'm kind of like, eh. So the cost of a vehicle in the Philippines is higher than here in Australia. However, the registration renewal and car insurance are a quarter of the price. Yes, that is true. Way cheaper in the Philippines. Yeah, that's the good thing about the insurance thing, is that it is really inexpensive for the car insurance. And that's another thing. In the U.S., we had a lot of vehicles. Okay, so we had an apartment, we had the house, we had my SUV. George had the motorcycle and two other cars. And the insurance on that was astronomical 4 years ago. Our children in the US are complaining about the cost of insurance right now, the cost of gas, and I just can't imagine. Same here for me. I think it's really astronomical to purchase the car, keep it maintenance, and keep gas on it versus just getting grabs and jeepneys. And a lot of people use jeepneys, the e-vehicle, and we do use the e-trike. We're talking about maybe next year getting just one of those individual little like little, I forgot what George said it was, not a moped. It's like another e-bike of some sort. That way he can just go on the back streets too, like the e-trike. So we really like the e-trike. I sold 12,000 off gold last week. Was tax 40,000 national insurance. Does the cost of living still make sense if you earn in pesos? Hey, thank you, Lucaspod. No. And I bitch on a daily basis, very much every day, several times a day, because George is Filipino. George is a Filipino citizen. George's family is Filipino. And no, but some people would claim that's most countries, but I find it to be more backwards so here in the Philippines. And Mexico, everything, like the wages kind of met with like if you bought something at a restaurant or if you bought something like street food or we had something delivered, the cost for something. Here it seems I'm being charged American prices. And when I say that, it's like I noticed even some of the Filipino pizzas are going up in price. And when I calculated that the other day, I'm like, wait a minute, that's just a Filipino pizza and they're wanting $6, $7. I'm like, who, if they're making, and I'm being generous at 1,000 pesos a day. If you're making anywhere between 20 and $10, why would you get $5 for a pizza? And that's where the pizza was at $5. And so it just didn't make any sense to me. So no, I don't feel in any manner. That's been one of my biggest complaints is that the cost is just like way out there for, I wonder how Filipinos pay for things. I wonder how they're doing it. Because the only thing that I could figure out over time is that, families tend to live together and help each other. And you could see 3, 4 types of family living in one house. I see that a lot in this neighborhood where families live in compounds and stay together and stuff. So the cost definitely does not meet. I just cannot imagine. I mean, I've seen coffees at a lot of the shops going for 150, 200 pesos. If you're making 500 pesos a day, it doesn't match. It doesn't match. It's even if I went to Starbucks and I made $200, $300 a day as a driver, me spending $10 on a big coffee, okay, that would make sense. But if somebody on the extreme is making 1,000 versus 500 pesos, and then they're giving 300 of it for coffee, that just doesn't make any sense. So, and there are more and more shops catering to, I don't know who, but like I've seen like these dessert shops, thank God I gave up sugar, that are selling little teeny tiny little pods of like cream cheese cakes or whatever with chocolate or buko pandan or something. And they're selling them for 800, 900 pesos each. It's insane. I can't believe some of the costs that are, and I'm like, who's gonna do that for 800, 900 pesos? That's crazy. Good morning, Victoria. Sleepyhead George. Yes, I was surprised that he's made it through the last few. He said he would join Saturday. I went to go wake him up, and he said, "Oh, I said, yeah, leave me alone." Uh, Sarah, Ruby, etc. Hi, Victoria. Good to see you here. You missed the opening. I don't know if you've seen it. We're now adding our regular members and our regular supporters on there, and we'll be updating the list all the time. And also, Victoria, we have Plushy Fandom Lo-Fi. We're doing another music channel, and we're going to be doing stories with people. And you and Sarah's up on the list next, and then we'll be hitting. I think we already did one with Ted and Sarah already. So we'll just be doing little stories of pets and different things, and our cute little pet stories. It's really like really chilling music. It's about I call it chill music for like an hour. These won't be like 2, 3 hour tracks. It'll be like 1 hour worth of music. So can't wait for President Trump. That thing we call Prime Minister here in the UK, the worst in history. In his defense, if I was on my way out, I'd want to ensure I left something sustainable behind for the fam if they were dependent on me in some way. Are you talking about Mr. Bacon? I don't think he said he had no family back in the U.S. and he was homeless twice attempting to go back and get medical. But I'm not aware that he has any kids here. He said he didn't have anybody in the U.S. I think he's like, hi, Cookie. You gonna say hi? I say hi, Cookie. Cookie usually doesn't visit us. Hi, Cookie. Cookie was a bad girl yesterday, weren't you, Cookie? Yeah. Oh, Cookie she had kittens a while back. Oh yeah, do that. I think because the new cat's in the house with the new babies, I think she's kind of freaked out. So she peed on the couch and then she peed on the bed. And so thank God we have like the waterproof sheets. And when I looked it up, it says it could be she's stressed. So I think because that new cat is in the house with the kitten, she feels neglected. So yeah, you doing okay, Cookie? She's the one that we found up under a car about 2 years, like when we first moved in here. And it's like her voice box is crushed. She does not meow at all. She just doesn't meow. You guys ever see where they cut the voice boxes out of pets? Like they do that to dogs. It's like, that is so cruel. Yeah. What? Your eyes are dirty. So yeah, it's cookie. So. Oh yeah, oil change cost 4,000. That was free labor through a dealership. We only had to pay for oil. Next time I'll change my own. Yeah, that's pretty much. It was a couple thousand. It was like 40 or 60 bucks for the one for George, and I'm a little concerned. And it's a small car, and it's a small car. I'm gonna let you know that even with George up front, it's like he's like this. It's good on gas and it goes, but even the repairs and doing things on that, like he had a radiator issue already, like it just seems like one thing after the other. So we're working on the AC next. It's not blowing out cold, it's just so right now, and so as I'm to understand, that's going to cost. So now one thing that does meet on some things is some of the medical. Now the cost kind of varies on that, but I just heard someone the other day that said they had a scan, and when they said how much it didn't meet right either for Filipinos. I think they said it was 400 US dollars. I'm like, what Filipino could afford, you know, 20,000 pesos or, for one single test? I don't get it. I guess they would go to a public hospital. I guess you don't remember Jared from Subway. Yeah, not conspiracy facts like most things. Fact is, the list will be out thanks to cash. Yeah, see, that was crazy. Trust nobody, man. Hey, Victor, what is going on? Good morning, Curtis. How are you? Yeah, then they only insure your bank. Yes, up to, yeah, it's a 500,000. We have 4 banks maxed out, and the rest I keep in my U.S. account. Yeah, but crazy, a bank for belly up and only have to give back 500. Yes, that's another thing. On the other channel, I just covered Social Security and direct deposit. So, and that's on Expatainment, and I talk about how I did that and why. And yes, that's something I did not mention. Yes, it's the FDIC. Yeah, and then you got to watch how much. So anything over, I believe, 10,000 US, which I think is close to that. It's probably about 8, 9 with the exchange. Am I right on that? That you're doing other tax forms. So, the electric bill will come today. That electric bill is going to look stupid, man. It's going to look stupid. And the reason it is because we just had the AC cleaned and it was like hot for the last month or two. And the previous bill was up, and then this one is up. So, real quick in between, I'm going to ask if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys do a thumbs up for me. And if you guys aren't a member with Philippine Antics, you guys really should be. If you guys are watching through Expatainment, there'll be membership coming on that channel later. But the membership with Philippine Antics has all kinds of additional content on there. And then we add you guys to our fandom list and all that. It helps our channel. It helps. We use it for maybe we can fix Cookie's voice box. But we appreciate you guys. It just shows you how much you guys care for us, and we do love you guys. We really do. Let me see. I'm trying to get the calculator here. Why is that not coming up? I'm trying to talk and walk at the same time. There it is. I don't know why. Yeah, so it's under 9,000. So that's right. It's yeah. So once you hit the 10,000, it triggers the U.S. for forms and stuff. With the direct deposit, they had me fill out something, but we didn't put 10,000 in. So thank you, thank you. My tax and national insurance, I'm on J-Ban, 18% plus. I have to buy and pay my staff. And that's what I thought as well. That's what I thought. Wouldn't care about butter be good. Here's the thing, Sarah. Landers is where we go. Landers is always sold out of their Carabao milk. I've looked up through Facebook Market and asked the neighborhood people. Nobody that in this area that I can get a hold of has Carabao milk or butter. I'm sure there is. I'm just missing the spot. Just like I'm getting the chicharrones, like the pork skin, and there was a ticket inside that had the name, and I figured, okay, being as I'll be eating more of these as my main snack and to bread, like anything that we're eating, and I can actually make physical bread with it, that I would just go direct to them, because a lot of it I would save like $1 a bag if I did it, by buying so many of them. They didn't have a Facebook group. I'm like, geez, Filipinos have Facebook groups for everything, and they're selling like to other stores, but yet they're not advertised. So I'm really surprised on that. But yes, it would be better. I told George, I said it would be better just to get some land and get our own Carabao. But according to George, Carabaos can be really expensive. I mean, because yes, the cream cheese, the cottage cheese is probably double the price the US. So if you get, I want to say that the cream cheese yesterday was about $4 and there was no generic for it. So, and if you get the Filipino type, it's not the same as Philly. So I might as well just make it myself. So I think the quart of butter or the quart of milk was, I'll save $1 if I make it myself, and I don't mind because I've got the time, and it's fairly simple. Basically, you're just doing the curds and whey and then grinding it up. I'm probably going to eventually do a cookbook of some sort, do it online or something, like get it all typed up and keep a recipe situation, or it's pension related. Thank you, Victor. Don't forget, many households are being fueled, yes, by OFW money. That's why a lot never come back, because they don't want to disappoint their kids and family. Yeah, but there's still a limit, because even so, they're still taking care of an entire household for that 40, 50,000 pesos they're sending back each month. And so it is fueled. Most definitely the country. There is a percentage that's fueled by that. Most definitely. No, I didn't see it, Heidi. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just a new channel. Yeah, plushie fandom. Yeah, we just be doing some music because we have the other one where we drop the music videos. So yeah, we probably need to list all of them. Like we put like recommended channels. It's usually all of our channels except for the gaming channel. Wherever expats travel to, the local prices always skyrocket. First the food, then the real estate, then everything. Yeah, but it's kind of going up everywhere in the Philippines for sure. So, and definitely yes, in tourist areas, and I am considered somewhat in a tourist area. We live on the outskirts of Angeles City in Mabalacat. We're like less than 2 miles from the airport. Miss Cookie, yeah. Hi, coming all the way from Columbus, Ohio, myself. Okay, Lee Johnson, another Buckeye in the house. Buckeye, I'm a Buckeye too. Looking to move there myself. I think I found 100% Filipina close to my age. We are both in our 50s. Yeah, you just have to make sure you check everything out. Recommend that you come here and visit her several times if it's an online relationship, for sure, and see if you can handle the Philippines. Because if I'd have come here a few times, I probably would have stayed in Mexico, except for I'm sure now that the Mexico immigration would have been a lot harder. And I didn't want to be an immigrant. George didn't want to, we both didn't want to be immigrants. We lived there for almost 6 months before we came here. But if I'd have known some of the things and George wasn't Filipino with family here, then we would have probably went to another Asian country for sure. Have you bring to Drake's Hotel and Restaurant and friends with them both? Are you asking we been there? Yes. Yeah, you're talking about Far East Poppy and Poppy, yeah. We've been there. We like the food there and everything. We haven't stayed at the hotel. I mean, we live not far from there. There's no reason for us to stay there, except for maybe to show the place. But we've been there. We have footage. So you have to put 10 to 20,000 in for an SRRV, and less than 10,000 is insured. Yeah, which is weird. And by the way, being you mentioned that, just a bill, they did. I don't know if it's official yet, but they did announce another type of visa. It's called an investor visa. I think called it. I wrote that down. I think it's just called SIV or PIV, but it's a permanent investor visa. But the requirements are kind of, I think you have to invest. I'm just going off the top of my head, 70 or 80,000, and of course the criminal. And it said you can't have any mental issues or any disabilities. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that's got disabilities, whether it's mental, physical, or otherwise, that are coming here that are up there. But this could be the younger crowd or something. And so, and they're saying, which is strange for me because they've only given 14 citizenships out, or 18, under 18 have ever become a citizen. It says there the ability to apply for citizenship. And I'm like, dang, okay. So they're trying to get people to invest in the Philippines. And so, yeah. Yeah. Sugar is bad. Diabetes 40. I have to be careful. Just drink water. My pinky is been going to check with the doc. Yeah, diabetes is really bad here in the Philippines, and diabetes, yes, is bad. I'm probably lucky about that. My no family member has diabetes, and for me, as much sugar as I was eating, like if you would give me sugar 24/7, I would just live on sugar and cereal like a kid. But I'm just a bad carb and sugar person. I would say that 85% of my diet was carbs and sugar. It just I, as far as sitting down and eating a bunch of greens and a bunch of meats and stuff as meals, we would tend to do a lot of unhealthy things. And so, or eating out or other things. It's a lot rougher. From SS Dr. Weir, the SS computer is run in Cobalt and 14 platforms. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's that guy that does Social Security. When they take your money, do you have to put up more to keep the SSRV? Um, you put that in a bank that there's like a list of banks, but yes, there's a $385 fee per year. And then it depends, I think, if there are other people. I don't think everybody falls under that category. And here's another thing. I did the recent where I said that people need to do the yearly registry with immigration, the annual report. And I think I did state SRRV was involved. But what it is in researching, it said that they contact, you go through the SRRV people to do that. That's not you going into the office. So, but there is a yearly fee and you check in with them. So I guess you don't, it'd be like dual reporting. You do it with them. So yes, no bank I found will insure more than 500. I had mine in one account, found out that it around fast. Yeah, you have to move it around like fast on that. Trump was asked if he would release the JFK info and Epstein list. He said yes to JFK, but he hesitated on Epstein. He said his buddy may be in it. Yeah, see, somebody was calling him out on Obama and how they're double standard stuff. They said that he had a problem and said a lot of things about Obama not being a citizen and being from Africa or somewhere else, but yet he doesn't have a problem with Elon doing all this stuff and from Africa or something. They're calling a lot of racist stuff about he's doing, and I'm like, oh geez. So things got really dark really quick. I don't know about the SRRV. I'm just talking about public banks. They would keep that in a government account, I would assume, insured all for the amount they take, but may be worth looking into. Gotcha. Disadvantages, genuinely talented and aspiring actors, I guess. Bad boy, jewelry shop. No offense to you. Please be careful what you put online in general, your jewelry business, and you don't want to become a target, God forbid, trying to help. Yeah, you have to watch how much you're putting out, most definitely. And especially if you move here on a permanent basis, everything that you're saying now, people are watching no matter what, because the Philippines and next to Thailand is one of the more toxic expat communities that are out there, where they go in and they'll gather information for long periods of time. And especially if you say you're coming here, a lot of guys pre-announce are coming as vloggers and stuff. So yeah, a lot of the personal stuff you'd want to, yeah, be careful on. Well, Heidi, God bless you guys, and hope everyone has a great night. Have to be up at 4 for work. Only a few weeks left, then back to the Philippines for a few months. Thank God. So cold in Michigan. Oh boy. Bye, Bobby. See you later, Bobby. I only had to put 1400 US in for my SRB. Well, you probably got yours a while back, but probably is that based on the military one or the other one that they have? Or it could have just been the amount back then. Because I think 1500 is the lowest one based on military. Eating rice 3 times a day increases the risk of diabetes because the starch, yes, breaks down into the glucose. And Pinos aren't against eating noodles and rice together. Too much starch. Yeah, I would agree. That's what I was telling George, is that he keeps asking. He's like, well, you mean you won't eat rice? I said, babe, rice turns into sugar. I said, it's an instant carbs altogether, most of them, even fruit. Like last year, I had lost, like during like a 2 month period, 3 month period, I had lost like 20 pounds and I've kept most of that off, right? And but when I started, I was eating a lot more sugars. Like I continued afterwards for a few months, but I wasn't really losing any weight and found out that I was adjusting. I was eating a bunch of smoothies with bananas and I was eating the more sugary fruits and I was still eating carbs. And I just thought I was eating like little bits. It still counted against me and it just added up. So now I just pretty much just eat practically like 99% no carbs, and I don't go hungry. I stay full longer, everything. But Mexico is now requiring Americans to have a visa to enter Mexico to retaliate against Americans for applying the tariffs. I'm sure it's going to cost a pretty penny. You know, when I looked it up, and it, hey, I don't want to hear those kids squeak. She likes to make them squeak. That it said it's required for Americans to have 7,000 or 6,000 a month in income to live there on a permanent resident uh, visa, and I'm like, how? So I don't know. I know it was a couple thousand before, but I didn't know it was that high. The UK Prime Minister was head of crime prosecution service when all the grooming gangs had assault cases were going on. He recently turned down calls for national inquiry into it. Yeah, they're going to start appealing a lot of stuff. It was military. Okay. It's like our own Epstein situation. Yes, I can see you. I'm still visible in the stream. Yes. Understand that YouTube holds things and we have a word list. I if even if it was held, I would still possibly see some of it, but I see you there. So I most definitely see you there. So for those that just came in on the live stream, we were talking about today in general, we're just talking about things that you could be tricks, rentals, dating, honeypot bar girl scams, trikes, pickpocketing, um, the fixers, the marriage fixers, the girls that are, um, that'll tell you she's getting all the paperwork through a cousin of a cousin, then the cousin doesn't pull through, the online fake rentals, going through and talking about, besides the fake rentals, is like what Paul's going through with Orange Kite Group. What is it, 40 something people that have been scammed out of their money? Filipinos, people lost money, employees. You just got to be careful. Building a house is just crazy. I couldn't even imagine. I still don't know why people do it, except for baby May needing a house because she's young and needs something long term. At that point, I would just take money and put it aside in some sort of trust and just let her, live at that. And she'd probably be more comfortable living with, her parents again or somebody, because usually Filipinos all live in groups anyway. She probably in the long run, she's going to be back in the family home anyways. But I just don't get, I get it and don't get it at the same time. People sell everything and plan and move over here, and then they go and they buy a house. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. So, but in general, that's what we've been talking about today. That is for sure. Hey, what is up, Michael J? Good morning. Good morning. So we're just going through here. Let's see what else we got going on. It's still early. Like early, it's probably late for those in the. And are they really going to impeach the vice president? I mean, not that I'm getting into. I mean, that's what most of the news has been about, but they've been going on about that. Yeah, Philippines says China's hindering its companies from exploring natural resources in the South China Sea. Eh, what's going on there? Person of interest and the death of a medical doctor. Huh. That was under the NBI. What's really going on? Yeah, I don't know. George must be sleeping from that damn slice of bacon, right? Yeah, he's been burning the candle at both ends. Hmm. Okay, thanks for confirming that, Heidi. Maybe I got screened for a comment, but didn't think I said anything. But I don't even see it here, and so if it's not even here on StreamYard, then that means YouTube took it. It's hard saying. Usually we can see when the messages are held based on like keywords, and so I see you in there. Yeah. No, I did not see that, Aaron. Yeah. Let's see if I can find that. Oh yeah, definitely. Somebody here said that they were transported to Medical City Clark Hospital. Amazing level of services, so well trained. Yeah, that's why we stay so close. Like I said, as a matter of fact, soon as more income, substantially more income comes in, then I told George that's more than likely where we're going is over there. So, originally, we would stay away from there because we didn't have like any main transport, but I like the area over there. And not that I feel that we couldn't. I just know it's going to get more expensive to live over there. Looking for that story. Well, what I did find here is an Aussie mom learns her fate for she brought 40 million worth of party favors into Taiwan. Looks like they're when was that? I don't even see it. Interesting. Good morning. Our Philippine journey is in the house. I was horrified to hear about the teenage girl found in the suitcase. Yeah, no, I didn't see. Vice President will be impeached for 165 billion missing from her department. Yeah, that's. Hmm. Hey, Cookie. Thanks, Michael. Hmm. I still have to figure what to do with the kitties because I don't think we'll be able to rehome them soon enough. But we love those kitties. They're really cute. Nutmeg and the black one's the one we really wanted to keep. But with the rain on and off, we were just afraid to leave him out there. She really wasn't like putting him anywhere but there by the tarp on the trike. So we were worried they were just going to get soaked in ammonia and pass on. And now we got her in the house. It's like, how long do we keep her? Now she comes out and walks around like she's living here. And I'm like, dang it, how are we supposed to put her back outside? She was an outside cat. She wasn't originally ours. She actually um, was an outdoor. She was really small when she started to come in our yard every day, and she slept here day and night. And so she kind of became ours, but an outdoor dog or cat. And out there with our outdoor dog, they would sleep together, and it's really cute. But I took his little friend away outside because Willie and her used to eat together, and but she had a batch of cats, and so I we don't want to take on four more cats. We've already got four cats, so kind of crazy. Getting scammed, lied to on a daily basis is what makes feel leaving the Philippines. Yeah. Maybe you meant makes you feel like leaving the Philippines. Um, it's not enough for me. People just have to totally wise up. I mean, that's the. But then again, people are extreme. There's extremely intelligent people that know about all these things, like the people that send the money to people, and they thought they had that all covered, and they still did it anyways. I think there's different reasons and different factors, but so far I haven't found anything that would make me leave. I mean, believe me, there's been A to Z, including toxic expats, and I'm still not leaving. And so it's you just have to feel your way out. For the cost of living, I'm still good with all this, and it's my husband's country, so I'm not leaving my husband. So it's just it just it is what it is when you're trying to work around these things. You just want to be as smart as possible and avoid certain issues, but sometimes you can't avoid it either. So also grave threat. Yeah, what's up with that? She did threaten the president, first lady and Senate president. She claimed to. Yeah. So what is with society, period? Again, if that was me and you, we'd be up and out of here. No, unfortunately, no. The closest we've heard on Elliot Eastman is his wife is now always doing live streams. And according to an update on that, we talked about this, I think, in the past week. She admitted to having a kid. One of those kids are her kids. We kind of discussed, we thought one of them was. She says she is a mother. So I'm assuming it's from the previous guy before Elliot. The baby, although the child seems to be 2 years old. And so if you calculate how long, like this time around, he had been here for, so she would have just had to have a baby. She would have just had to have had a baby like exactly when they met. So she said, I'm pretty sure she said it wasn't his. So Um, but that's about it. She's doing live streams now all the time. And she kept the internet cafe, or, like the internet, I call it internet cafe, but an internet hub. She kept the Starlink up. She's making the payments. I'm really surprised. I guess she's making, the incoming money to pay it. But the store, she did not continue after all of that and the investment, all that. They had invested like 40,000 pesos. It's no longer, they just used the food up, I guess. Sold it and used the food up. So nothing else about just dead case, and we probably won't hear anything. My personal honest opinion, I believe one of those bodies were his out in the water. So after they came forward and said his body was tossed over and all that was admitted, think about that video now of that white body and the skull that came up on the other side of the island that they said belonged to supposedly an assistant of a police person. I'm sorry. Too many people said it was possibly him. That's still my theory. So, this week's TV show, FBI Most Wanted, did a 2-part series of international trafficking girls from Manila. Yeah, it's sadly to say, yeah, they do that a lot. And as a matter of fact, they've been trafficking them as human baby carriers now. Like they're going to different parts of the world, to all countries where they're using them now for surrogacy. They're giving them a very small amount. Like if you got a surrogate in the U.S., it would cost you 10,000. To get a surrogate from here would cost you 1 or 2,000, 3,000, maybe a fraction of the cost. So people are making businesses. So she was found in San Jose del Monte City. Oh, the girl, 16. The most disheartening thing about all the scams is it makes you question the warm, welcoming attitude of the people. Like maybe it's a front. When I first got here, I used to screech all the time about, and George used to get upset about it, where I would talk about be careful because Filipinos can be nasty as much as they are nice. And it is the biggest reason people come to the Philippines is because of the English and how warm and inviting people are. But on the other hand, you have to also be careful because there is, I don't know how to actually put this. I just know that Filipinos can get, or guys, it can turn like that. But that's anywhere. It really is. That could happen with Americans. That could happen with British guys, or if you go to the UK, they can be super nice to your face and then turn on you. But I think some of them find it a necessity, and I think some of them give you that smile just for business. Like when I watched that woman where George went to go buy Valentine's Day, it just when he was talking with her, she just wanted the sale. They were pushing things on him, and it's just the way she smiled and everything. But when he told her that I was allergic to flowers, he said mention the plastic ones. He told her to get the flowers and told me not to smell them or put them nearby me or something. And I'm like, yeah, she was pushing the sale, but I don't know. I think it's out of necessity where a lot of the Filipinos are super, super nice. Although they make the best nurses, best spouses. Believe me, the same people can turn south. Like even George has a dark side. Like I have a dark side and good days and bad days. And, it can flip just like that. It really is crazy. How many kittens do you have now? Holy crap. Well, we were down to 3. And then Bella came back because I was telling you guys the one went overseas. So that brought us back to the 4. And then 4 more moved in about a week ago. That was the kitten that lives outside. That was a stray. It doesn't belong to anybody. We know because day and night she sleeps. She had 3 kittens. So I'm trying to find the balance of how long she lives in the house. And right now the kittens are barely crawling. Like they're not even leaving their little bed area. So they're not even moving. The yard is safe and fenced in, so I know the kittens won't run into the street. So I don't know. I'll probably wait probably a month, let them big enough that they're moving, and then we'll make sure that they're wormed, and then we'll keep the flea drops on each one. And when they're big enough, and they'll probably just run around the yard because they can't get up. So as soon as they're old enough, they can jump the fence and go in and out is probably when they'll be pretty safe with their mom. But um, the cat just lives here. So I think we feed, there are 2 additional stray dogs we feed every day plus Willie. And then there's probably about 7 cats. So sometimes I set food out there 3 times. So morning, night, and then I put something in between. So the answer, sorry, I got carried away there. Currently in the house, there's 8 with the new kittens. So you're the first female expat. Great to hear your feedback. Thank you. There's other female expats here. There's a lot of Westerners. We always talk about the channel being different because I'm an American female retired expat. So there's not a whole bunch of those that are doing the expat help or talking about, the gossip, the drama, the whole wrap of the whole thing about being here in the Philippines and about other YouTubers and people that are living here. And there's some younger ones that are probably about 10 or 15 years younger than us, but they don't do too many live streams, and they live like in Makati and some of the richer areas. So just trying to be as realistic as possible, and I do it to help people. So it does generate a little bit of income based for George and for the household, but usually it goes right back into the pets and stuff. And so, yeah, so we just enjoy doing it. It's fun. We just enjoy doing it. And it also, like, when we got up air last time, we were like, it is a boredom thing in a sense, and no shame in admitting that in between time, it kind of breaks up the monotony. So it just breaks that time up. And so it's like we do several things. I run like the household, cooking, cleaning, feeding pets. George feeds pets. He goes out, visits family. We visit people, and it just does. And so, and we've helped quite a few people. We've got to be getting, I didn't even see how many views we have just here on this channel. But in social media altogether, it's probably 20 million, 30 million views, because we have Facebook and TikTok and a lot of other things. A lot of other stuff. But she's the original pioneer expat woman. There'll be statues. Right. No, thank you. I'm not leaving either. Yeah, I can't see. Now, I will let you know the heat sometimes is bad, and sometimes the bugs, seem to bug me, and I have my good and bad days with Filipinos. I've told you guys that, like the kids being loud or messing with the car, or when you go out and about. But for the most part, my experience, I'm going to put it at about an 70 to 80% good positivity. It's just, short of them cuffing me and throwing me out of the country over something stupid, then I'm here. I'm here to stay. Does she mention if Elliot knew she had a child? I bet her live streaming income blew up after what happened. No, there's nobody really there. His channel pretty much died after that, and there's not many people in her live stream. Just a few, maybe 3, 4 people at a time. So no, nothing ever took off, and I doubt she's making any money. You really have to, like, the month we talked about Elliot and some of the other months that we've had good months through YouTube and we were streaming through Facebook, the most money we ever made was 25 US dollars. And so I doubt and then were some higher numbers that month. I doubt that she's doing anything on that income. Heidi, good job on the guy giving budget advice in Davao City. I have never seen him. We go to the club every weekend, and we spend 10,000 a week there. Oh yeah, you're talking about that one guy. Yeah, that same thing. He's a come and go guy, but yeah, he was just making all of it up, and it was really a boredom thing for him for sure. He was just bored making things up. He thought it would bring in, like, maybe he was thinking that if he would tell stories, like there are storytellers out there that legitly tell stories by making things up, but they do it in a form where they don't say, hey, I'm only doing my welfare and food stamp checks and my checks and food stamps and I'm living over here situation. And no, they usually just direct it in other directions. Like, hey, I lived on a mountain for 3 weeks and ate nothing but rice with a bunch of, they make up other stories that really don't harm people, but it's, that wasn't even exaggerating. He was just sad. Back to sleep, George. Make me sleep on a rainy morning. Nothing to do. Night, night. See you later. Hey, Mike Miller, thanks big time for the Social Security tutorial. It was very helpful. You're welcome. We have that on the other channel. We have some here too. So here on Philippine Antics, we have a bunch of expat help videos. Some of them are what I told George the other day, they're getting to be a little outdated because a lot of things have changed. But there's a lot of information in the description. But the new one just talks about direct deposit. That one should help. Like there's links inside of that, but that's on Expatainment. And I did post that in the community post on both videos on both channels where you guys can see that. So my worst day there was the karaoke at 6 a.m. I'm looking forward to Clark because it does not seem like it didn't look like a noisy area. I could be wrong. So I'm hoping the karaokeing and the barking dogs and a bunch of other things that go on in the city area like here will kind of go away. I'm on Social Security, but I try to give you when I have a bit extra, even though I work part-time. I appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. Cookie? Hey, Cookie. As soon as I say 1 million US dollars, I'll fix your voice box. Okay? She's so cute. No, we appreciate it. We really do. I don't know. She's so weird. She just goes, it's so weird. It's really cute. I do appreciate it. All right, gonna take one more here. One of the young Filipinos who live in my girlfriend's apartment complex. Is that the apartment here? It's called apartment, but I think that's apartment complex. Posted that she made 14,000 USD in 28 days from a video on Facebook doing the provocative dance. It's possible. May I ask, possibly the only person that I seen that made a crap load of money like that was that age gap couple. Is that age gap couple? There was one that just posted. It was all over Facebook. She was posting her stuff, and she showed she made that much. But there's a 48-year difference for the guy. So I'm just wondering if that was them. It's possible, yes. Depending on the views, this person showed they made a substantial amount. That sounds pretty substantial. But they had like their channel, like their Facebook has 400,000 people, so it makes sense they're making a 10,000 check based on views. They're always posting and always videos, and they've got to be paying heavy advertisement. I understand there's advertisements and ways to actually do that. So, guys, I have to wrap this up. I have a delivery. 1 second. They showed up early. So usually they're not supposed to. Remember, we told you the noon thing, but yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys being here, and I don't want to wake George up. Good night, everybody, and we will see you on Saturday and come up with a topic, and be sure to comment and do a thumbs up on the way out here. And I appreciate you guys coming in, and thank you to all of our members that have come in today. And if you guys aren't a member, check out the membership. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys later.